What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Angry Jackalope Rob Ricks. It's that time in 3, 2, 1, boom! 7 o'clock, bitches. January 18th, 2020. Yes, indeed. And boy, the year is off to a banger, ain't it? Holy shit. Let's see who we got. Oh, we got Vixen. Hey, what's up, Vixen? How you feeling, girl? You feeling all right? I hope you're feeling better. I've been doing a lot of praying for you. So I hope so. And we got the Garrett. Oh, Pandalope, huh? That's interesting. Nice. And the Yakety Yak. Please come back. Oh, you're still in the hospital. Hope you're feeling better, though. Trying to use my full dentition. I don't know if it's going to work. Real difficult. Keeps creating a lot of excess. Yeah. Anyway, let's get the show started. What's up, Paula? Paula's there too. Awesome, awesome, blossom, people. Awesome, blossom. So I guess, and we got Liverlope. We got the lovely Liverlope in his house. Oh, by the way, a little bit delayed, but my announcement on the book contest, blah blah blah. I'm still working through it, but I've talked to some of the people who have won some stuff already, so there will be a formalized announcement in that regard. So hang with me. Let's see. Garen says she's waiting to go to the hospital. She twisted her knee. Yikes. Leg problems everywhere. Lordy Lord. So I figured I'd start out with some gear. And then we'd move into world news and some entertainment stuff. And go from there, right? So people are familiar with key bars. So key bars are kind of like key keepers, I guess. It's to keep the jingle jangle under control inside of the key bar. I don't actually have keys in mine. I just have a bunch of little odds and ends that Collector Knives had. They have a ton of these different things. Even key bar themselves have a ton of really interesting stuff that they add to their stuff. From knives to bottle openers to flashlights to just all kinds of really neat things. So a few of these from Collector, for example, are like, little bits for screwdriver and whatnot. Let's see, we got a seatbelt cutter. It's kind of cool. We got a little pry bar with some little hex deals, and I think I probably use that for a bottle opener right there. And then a little flashlight. But I kept this one for a long time just because there was a period of time when you could go to Key Bar and get custom deals. So I did one way back when. With the Angry Jackalope stuff, you know what I mean? Yep, you could use these as key size little multi-tools. Anyway, I just came across this not too long ago. Figured I'd show it off just because I'm probably gonna get some of the additional stuff that's out there for. Attention. Whoopsie, hang on. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Whoa, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on. Hang on, let me close that out. There we go. That should prevent that from happening again. What that is, if you guys are kind of curious, I have an alert system that I keep an eye on, and when alerts roll in, boom, that goes off so I don't miss my alerts. Woo! That looked like that was loud as it shot across the thing there. I was like, oh shit, my bad. Sorry guys. Apologies. Anybody with headsets and it's heard, you know, a line from Aliens, I believe. Anyway, moving right along. I think the next thing that I will touch on, one second, before we get into the I won't be on us for the next 2 weeks. I'm at my daughter's place babysitting my granddaughter, a year and a half. A year and a half old, while my daughter and son-in-law are away on vacation. Ooh, a year and a half old. That could be a handful. That could be a whole lot of fun. Keep an eye on that. Okay. So, I think the first thing that I'll talk about a little bit is underwater. So, me and the wife went and watched Underwater last week Thursday, right before it popped off. So still kind of a relevant movie. I hear Bad Boys for Life is doing quite well. And if you saw the first two, supposedly this is more of the fun. So yay there. Doolittle also popped off, but it's looking like that thing is pretty much floundering. Now, to talk about drowning and floundering and whatnot, let's talk about Underwater a little bit. So me and the wife watched it, and I gotta tell you, that movie had me stressed the fuck out. In a good way. There was quite a bit of scenes that just were a little bit overwhelming. Like especially if you got a little bit of claustrophobia and you're kind of concerned about tight enclosed places, and then thinking you're in the bottom of the ocean where you're basically kind of fucked. Holy hell. We watched that movie, and I made a point to kind of count how many times I butt clenched, like going, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you know? And I did at least 10. Had 10 solid butt clench moments where I was like, eh. And then I had about maybe 3 jump scares where I was like, whoa. But they were kind of predictable. I kind of saw them coming. So I wasn't like it's not like a really horrifying, super scary, like, oh, rah, 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 constantly at you and shit, like Alien felt like. But there are some similarities. There's a lot of things you'll watch and go, ooh, I kind of felt this way while watching Aliens, and ooh, I kind of felt this way while watching blah and blah and blah. So, for the most part, the movie was really good. It was very entertaining. Me and the wife walked away like, yeah, we were entertained. Like, we enjoyed it. And we actually, well, for me anyway, I can't speak about her, but me anyway, I enjoyed Underwater a little bit more than I did Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Like Star Wars was good, but it wasn't so memorable that you're like, oh wow, you know, great. Compared to like The Mandalorian. Mandalorian was amazing. It was just great. Loved it. Enjoyed it. Could watch it again. I could watch that probably 3 more times and probably still enjoy it. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker was, maybe I'll watch it 1 more time if, you know, wife wants to watch it. But other than that, I don't have any plans on watching that. Underwater was just like, you watch it 1 time, because once all the big reveals happen, you're like, okay, I can't watch it again because I know the big reveals. So you're kind of like, okay. And there's like, and it's not like the big reveals like some movie where there's a little continuity, there's like ambiguous hints along the way, and then you're like, ah, was the butler. I should have seen it was the butler. No, it's not like that. It's like watch the intro credits and pay attention. Then you watch the show. Cinematography, the scenes that were shot were beautiful and underwater. Just like Star Wars, they had breathtaking special effects and scenes and stuff, and they did a good job pulling a Disney formula of some tear jerking and stuff on, Star Wars. But underwater, man, people, boy, woo, people drop. I mean, people be dying left and right. Like, you start to like a character and something happens, you're like, wow, okay, they went there. All right, I like that. I respect that. And then, it gets all the way to the end, and you're kind of like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So anyway, I did like Underwater. So if you haven't seen it, it is worth watching in a theater with a really good sound system. Just like Star Wars, it's good to watch in a theater. Jumanji, I had no desire to watch Jumanji. I don't have any desire to watch that. Let's see, anything else? Nope. They did a recut of The Grudge. I have no desire on seeing that. Nope. Places are still playing Joker. Nope. Yeah, there's nothing else. Nothing else that I'm really itching to go to the theaters and watch. Now, on the TV side, we started watching The Messiah on Netflix. And I'm enjoying it for the most part. The gay agenda stuff is really, really, really grating on me, though. I'm getting so sick and tired of calling shit. Like, we're watching shit, and my wife saw, oh, that character, and I'm like, he's gay. She's like, no, there's no way. I mean, he's gay. He's fucking gay. I'm telling you, he's fucking gay. And we get 2 episodes in, and boom, he's fucking gay. She's like, how'd you know? I'm like, because it's predictable now. It is so blatantly predictable now, the gay shit. I'm just like, hey, Yak, don't spoil anything yet. I haven't finished it yet. We're almost there. We have 2 more episodes to go. And, in the beginning, what I like about Messiah, though, is it has a realistic depiction of the sheeple mentality. And what I mean by a sheeple mentality is the sheer lack of critical thinking and just the ability to just throw it all away and say, fuck it, right? And allow yourselves to give into just utter pity or utter hope without really being reasonable and saying, okay, let's see what's what. I mean, the thing that I feel is really interesting about Messiah is you, as the viewer, are given lots of little bits and pieces, and you're given like evidence in this one and evidence in this one, and I suspect, I have no idea because we're not done yet, but I suspect by the time I come to the ending, I'm not going to get a resolution that I want. I think they're going to hook my ass, put the hook deep in me, throw another hook just to fucking pinhead my ass, and then be like, haha, motherfucker, we got you now. You got to wait for the next season. I'm almost positive they're going to do that shit to me. And so, hey, what's up? Chance is in the house. What's up, Chance? But, it's a very interesting show. And so, we were watching it, and we're both, like I'm rooting, I'm hoping on the one hand it would be a certain way. And then on the other hand, I'm also like, man, if it is, then we're fucked on a lot of levels. And like it was kind of interesting because there's a part of me I hope it's going to get super like fucking supernatural because, anybody who follows the concept of religion and also Christ and second coming Christ and also the abilities of the devil, make no mistake, the devil can also perform miracles. The devil can also do some very interesting things, purportedly. So we were sitting there watching that, and the first thought came to our fucking mind, well, my wife's mind. I was trying to be optimistic, saying, ooh, that would be cool if that is old JC right there, right? And she's like, the fucking devil can do miracles and shit. I was like, man, why you gotta fucking say that shit? Then I'm sitting there watching going, he could be the motherfucking devil, But it's just, in any event, it's interesting. And one thing that I thought was super interesting, and they had a fucking, whoa, I can't believe they went there moment. The president in this one is, he's a Mormon. So I was like, they made the fucking president a Mormon, which is very interesting because the Mormons believe in Latter-day Saints, meaning that they believe that they were saints that occurred after Jesus. But in the Bible that a lot of Catholics and Christians read, Jesus is quoted as saying, there will be no prophets or anything after me. No prophets, no saints, anything like that. No prophets. I should say prophets, not saints, because I think Catholics have had tons of saints after the fact. I think it's prophets. There shall be no prophets after me. And when I come again, then there will be, second coming of Christ is supposed to be knee deep inside of the apocalypse, right? It's supposed to be Book of Revelations is the next one that talks about second coming of Christ. So anyway, it's just super interesting. And then it's kind of interesting to see some of the shit, like, damn, some of the racial shit that is said in this fucking show made me gasp out like, oh, fuck, they said that shit? Like, damn. I've been here for 30 minutes waiting for your show. This goddamn YouTube never gave me notification in RAM. What's up, Sibicon? What's up, brother? If you guys have been watching his Instagram, he'd be posting up some sexy ass images of blades and watches. Makes me want to get one of my sexy watches, right? Get one of my sexy watches and a knife. Just put them all up. Set my lights just right. Take some sexy ass shots. That's Simicon right there, boy. He be dropping some sexy shots. Anyway, so yeah, I'm anxious to get these last two episodes of the Messiah in, but I'm like, damn. I'm also like, fuck. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. But anyway, it's pretty good. All right, that's where I'm going to end. Entertainment for right this second. We might roll back around to some more entertainment shit. Like, I'd love to talk about shit like The Expanse, some other shit like that. But I think it's very, very important for us to talk about some shit going on with Virginia, and also I might have to say I may be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think I am wrong. But I think I may be wrong because the Illuminati are pushing the gun agenda like I've never seen before. Never seen before. Eminem just dropped a song yesterday called Darkness off of an new album coming out called Music to Be Murdered By. Okay? And now I'm like, interesting. This is very fucking interesting because, of course, on Monday is the protest in Virginia where I'm really, really curious to see who the fuck shows up, because I know a lot of patriots that are, pro-gun, like, yeah, I'm gonna go and fucking gonna get my voice heard and woo woo woo. And it's interesting because Antifa, which normally is the antithesis of pro-gun movement, in Virginia, there's a Virginia group of Antifa that is going to march with the pro-gun, and they're marching for the most brilliant reasons I had ever fucking seen before, right? Which is, back in the civil rights movement, black folks wanted guns, and they were like, no, you guys can't have guns. They were like trying to block them from getting guns, and that's when things like the NRA started to step in and really help get guns for everybody, right? You didn't care if black, white, red, yellow, green, whatever. You know, this is a constitutional right to bear arms. And if you're a black person, you had the same rights as a fucking white person. So Antifa, or Antifa, I don't know how to fucking say that shit. These guys are marching because they were citing, yeah, I think it's even worth fucking reading this shit, because I was like, damn Skippy, this is fucking brilliant. So there was a group called Antifa 7 Hills. Okay, that's the name of that particular group, right? Because their quote is saying, I think it's been pretty important for us to focus on the fact that gun control in America has a legacy of racist enforcement, which is very true. Super duper fucking true. An Antifa 7 Hills spokesperson called James, a self-identified anarchist who withheld his real name for fear of getting doxxed, told Vice. Like taking guns away from black people because black people were perceived as a threat to property and the sanctity of the state. Again, true. This is our fight as much as anybody else's, James continued. It's our state, and we are left largely out of the debate. The presence of an armed left is not discussed. It's not understood. To the armed left, gun control represents the rise of a police state and the oppression of minorities made powerless by disarmament. But it's also a class issue as well. So I'm like, okay, outstanding. So these guys are going to be marching and helping protest the shit that's going on in Virginia. It is going to be extremely interesting to see what happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's see what happens. And now I'm seeing this shit with Eminem dropping. Eminem has, on his YouTube, this particular song has 12,312,882 views in a single fucking day. The media has picked this shit up and is talking about where the there's a clip in here about that Vegas shooting, and at the end it's got a bunch of TVs in the form of the United States of America, and it's showing all these shootings and everything, and then there's this white text that says, when will this end? I find it extremely funny when I see these hip-hop artists suddenly getting on a platform and being anti-gun. Snoop Dogg is one that comes to mind. Just ludicrous. It makes me laugh, okay? Gangbangers or, inner city thugs talking shit about guns when they help glamorize that shit for the most part. Like some of these action heroes, anti-gun, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking shit about guns. I'm like, you motherfuckers are like blood-soaked salespeople of guns, right? Eminem Music, for example, has 40.5 million subscribers. Out of Americans, America, we got, 320 million. So granted, YouTube is a global platform. So if you say 20 million of those are US subs, that is a pretty large number, right? How near are you to where that shooting was? Oh, that was over in Grantsville. So Grantsville is probably about, that's right where I used to get my pig heads. Grantsville, about 45 minutes from where I'm at. And yeah, I saw that article where somebody inside his house killed a bunch of people and, whatever, with a gun. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, shit happens. I'm not, that could happen right fucking next door to me. Fuck, I could catch a stray bullet from somebody who killed his whole fucking family next door to me. I'd still be pro-gun, because that's just my stance, and I'm not gonna change it. Because my belief is, you know, and I hate that cliche shit that I keep hearing over and over and over. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And I'm like, why do we have to even phrase shit like that? How about I had an equal amount of weaponry to protect me and my family, and when shit popped off, I got lucky and I shot the motherfucker. End of story. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. I get kind of irritated with this whole shit. You know what I mean? Because they act like these mass shootings are huge body counts. And if you want to get realistic with devastation and things like that, we have a government that is trying to take our guns away, but is responsible for acts overseas that are going to result in far greater body counts than any of us locally would ever do. So anyway, Simicon asks, the real question here is, when the time comes to face actual tyranny, will we, the American people, actually stand up, arm out, and face the oppressor? Probably not. There's too many fucking pussies, man. That's the problem. You know, they will stay comfortable because, look, in the 60s, the radical 60s, when people were a lot more mobilized and people were more down to bleed, even the black community. I mean, you had Malcolm X, a very famous speech where he said, you know, you guys will go overseas and fight for Uncle Sam and bleed, but you're not going to bleed for your own fucking thing. And you like to say shit like revolution, 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 but none of y'all motherfuckers want to get up and bleed for it. You know, the concept of bleeding or dying for an idea might be romanticized a little bit in pop culture, but the culture we have in America now is dishonorable. There are so many motherfuckers that will talk that shit and say, oh man, I would die for my rights, for my guns and blah, blah, blah. Right, pussy. Sure you will. Soon as motherfuckers show up and you don't have your perceived advantage or whatever, or you don't have your patriot brothers backing you up, you're going to fucking fold like a house of cards. You're going to fucking, here's my guns, take them. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, my bad. Well, you know, hey, you want me to clean it for you before you go? You want, you know, they're not, you know, it won't happen. I'll tell you when it will change. If they're smart with their gun grabs, if they try to do a gun grab, if they're smart, they'll come hard as fuck, you know, because that will scare them up. You know, especially if they get footage of somebody coming up and, you know, going to do something, they get popped off, and the people get scared, like, oh shit, man, they killed Roger, man, they killed Roger, fuck. Okay, it's only through adversity, only through pain, will people realize what they have, and when they start to lose it, that's when it will wake people up. And so if the government is really serious about taking our shit, they'll do it very slow, very systematically, very slow. They won't go fast, because if you go fast, it's like that analogy of putting a frog in a boiling water, right? It's like if it gets hot, slowly, the motherfucker just sitting there, just bathing and going, oh, this feels good. Oh, it's hot. Ah. Okay. It gets too hot, they jump out, right? Real fast. I think that's the analogy here. If it gets too fast in their efforts, then motherfuckers will get froggy and start fighting back. And I don't think everybody will be a pussy, but I think the real hardcore motherfuckers that really believe in shit are either going to be too old, they're going to be too few of them, and I think what they'll do is they will villainize the guns and everything else to the point where the community itself will come and be the snitches, ones pointing shit out. You know what I mean? Did I see the video from Project Veritas? I don't think so. I think I saw something on it, but I didn't get a chance to see it, so I don't know what that one is. But you know, I think unfortunately the American spirit has fucking died. You know, I think it's just, I just think people just, that nobody wants to bleed. Nobody wants to hurt. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. We live in so much excess and so much. I mean, look at how people cry about the most mundane, insane fucking things. They cry about the dumbest shit. I could bring up an article instantly talking about how stupid people are about a perceived injustice. Right? It's like, oh, he called her instead of her preferred pronoun. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's stupid. You know, here's a perfect example. I watched the movie Joker. And I said, wow, this dude had a pretty tough fucking life. Yeah, pretty tough fucking life. And he went bonkers. No spoilers, but he went fucking bonkers. And there is a vast majority of people watching this shit going, yeah, I feel bad for him. As if feeling bad for a person justifies their actions, right? Look, we all have our cross to bear. Some of us have a really big fucking cross. And the character Joker had a pretty big fucking cross. But at the end, when he did everything, you know, and instead of people saying the most obvious thing, it's like, wow, dude went nuts. You know, man, shit, that sucks. He went fucking crazy. I was hearing people saying, wow, you know, I understand it. And I'm like, oh, so you understand insanity, because he was fucking nuts. He was fucking nuts. It's like, okay, granted, he had trauma, he had this, he had that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't justify cold-blooded murder, right? Now, somebody's attacking you, defend yourself, you stood your ground, you took them out, okay. But cold-blooded, calculated murder is still cold-blooded, calculated murder, regardless of your mental state. You chose to take another person's life, right? This is a fundamental issue with the whole gun control. They're trying to villainize and put some kind of a stance on gun, like a gun is a good thing or gun is a bad thing. A gun is a completely neutral, inanimate, fucking cold piece of metal and plastic. It has no intelligence. It has no relevance bearing on a debate of whether or not it is good or bad. What is good or bad is the person using it. Well, Rob, a gun is a more efficient way of killing. Okay, that's fine. I get that. That is the purpose of the tool, right? But it also serves as a deterrent. There are a lot of people that have flashed a gun, never shot a gun, but revealed the fact that they had a gun that have instantly defused the situation. Instantly. A motherfucker sitting there, hey man, give me a, whoa, hey, whoa, sorry. Suddenly they're polite. See, guns enforce a certain level of politeness in a society that is starting to become a lot more impolite and immoral. Just got a news alert that says military maneuvers may interfere with GPS signals. Yeah, they're moving stuff around, guys. They're doing logistical things. There's a lot of moving pieces happening right now that to me feel like distractions. They feel like this is just, ooh, looky here. Ignore this, looky here. Okay, you guys do this. You do. Oh, hey, we're gonna interrupt here. Don't worry about it. Totally nothing, burger. Don't worry about it. We're good. Don't worry. Hey, check out the debate. Check out the impeachment going on. Check this shit out right here. That's the stuff, right? Come on, man. It's bullshit. A lot of bullshit. Stuff that, and the more that you see media pile on something like this England shit where, you know, Prince Harry and whatever the bitch's name is, oh, they're going to leave and they're going to come here. Who gives a flying fuck? They're fucking royalty in England. Fuck that. Fuck them. Who gives a fuck about them? I give less than a fuck about them than I do the Kardashians. And I give zero fucks about Kardashians. You know, they might be okay to look at, like, all right, whatever. Hey, Kanye, yeah, fuck that bitch. Fuck her brains out. Good for you, Kanye. Whatever. I give less than a fuck about those people. And then I see these motherfuckers coming, like, who gives a fuck about them? Oh, well, look, Obama is okay, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Who cares? Distraction, people. Noise, noise, noise. That shit, grab it, throw it to the side. Useless. Virginia, that's becoming kind of an issue. Need to pay attention here. That's actually important. Impeachment, bullshit also. They're bringing up all this Clinton stuff. I saw a video clip of Nancy Pelosi. Total 180 statement, total hypocrite, total mouthpiece bullshit hooker whore. That when Billy Boy was, facing impeachment shit, right? Here she is saying, oh, this is for everybody that's against Clinton, blah, blah, blah. They're just using this and, you shouldn't, there's no laws that were broken. Nobody has said anything about laws being broken and blah, blah, blah. And this is just a travesty. This is the fucking opposite of what she's doing fucking right now. That's what I'm saying. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Garen says, let's see here. But Bernie supporters said if Bernie loses, to put conservatives in reduction camps and put Democrats against the wall. Well, whatever. And that's, again, distraction. It's all, ooh, what the fuck? Ooh, did you hear this shit? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's not fucking important, right? Stock market. You realize... Yeah, re-education. That's Hillary. That's a page out of that whole Hillary Clinton fucking Illuminati bullshit where they were gonna gather all of us up and throw us in fucking re-education camps and shit. But where's my fucking? Here we go. Dow Jones. Dow Jones. We are getting close to 30,000 on the stock exchange. And I went back and I looked at it. I looked at the whole thing as far back as 1985. And really, if you look at it, it's just always been, there's been this upward trend. You could draw a line, a line like this. And the question is, how high will it go? And then the question is, well, when it drops, how low will it go? Because not if, it's a when. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. I had one of my, kind of like my adopted daughter, she was asking me about stocks. I said, look, stocks like real estate. You buy them, you sit on them, you do your due diligence and you research the companies that you're really interested in, and those are the ones you put money in. And then you don't really think about it. You put it, you leave it. You don't fucking, day trade all day. Ooh, it moved up 1 point. I'm going to sell. Ooh, this went down 1 point. I'm going to buy this. Okay, you ain't got time for that bullshit, right? But if you look at the stock market and you look, even during the Great Depression, even this the crash in the 80s, whatever, the 9/11, it's like, but it keeps going up, right? Real estate, same thing. I had a guy in real estate telling me, real estate never, ever, ever goes down, right? I said, well, wait a minute. What about when the markets crash? He goes, yeah, that's temporary. There's always temporary depressions that happen, but it's like the rope in the pool, right? It goes down and it will pull down whatever's close to it, but it always bounces back. And I thought about it. And I thought about all the super mega rich fuckers that wait for shit to collapse and then houses are pennies for the dollars and they come in and they buy up all the property. Oh yeah, think about all the rich people. What's one of the things they have? Whole shit ton of real estate. Yeah, makes sense now. Anyway, it's all distraction. But I thought it was very interesting that we're getting really close to 30,000. Right now we're at 29,348. I thought to myself, interesting. If we get all the way to 32,000 and everything fucking collapses, that would be perfect from a numeric point of view, because the 32 invert is 23, numbers of the Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. Because these motherfuckers love to do shit with numbers. Everything with them is numbers, because it's all esoteric fucking occult shit that these guys are all fucking hooked into. It's crazy. I've been studying up on the Chinese Illuminati, the Chinese Freemasons, and seeing how the triad came about. And it's fucking crazy. Even the Illuminati, a lot of the core segments of the Illuminati started from monks, right? Started from holy warriors. And then here we got the triad, right? Where it came from, you know, 5 of these monks that basically the monastery was tore down and destroyed, and they survived, and they ended up needing money, and so they created these ultimately huge, vast empires. It's just crazy shit. When you start to really research a lot of the underworld, and you start to look at a lot of these Illuminati groups, and you start to look at the things and the traditions and the culture that they embody and what they work with, you start to go, ooh, that's kind of crazy. And you might be saying to yourself, Rob, why are you looking into the triad? Because I believe, even though, that the Chinese represent a very interesting unknown variable to the world stage. I think they are going to be the ones that are going to stick the biggest stick in shit and stir the pot, followed by the Jewish cabals, right? And then, of course, you got your standard Illuminati. You know, you got like Catholic Church and some other stuff. That's kind of all mixed in there. But yeah, there is some very crazy shit with those different groups. But China specifically is the one that's got me really like, wow. And Russia continues to baffle me, right? Like, I've had tons of people sending me these little notes about, you know, Putin and, you know, a lot of the political groups inside of Russia stepping down and saying they want no part of shit he's working on to kind of revamp stuff. And people asking me, do you think Putin is trying to do one of these coup type things where he changes their law so that he can serve indefinitely? And I was like, I don't know, possibly. And if he does, whatever. You know, it's not my pond to piss in. It's not my concern. You know, I live off the golden rule of don't start no shit, won't be no shit. And I got a lot of people like, well, you know, if Russia's left unchecked, they can go and take this. And if China's left unchecked, they could take that. And I'm like, well, if America was unchecked, you think we wouldn't do that? So we're all kind of stabilizing forces. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens. I definitely think this year there's going to be some massive transformation happening on this fucking planet. And I'm already looking at all of the space talk, all of the alien shit. If you guys have not been paying attention, the number of reported sightings and all this other shit is fucking going up exponentially. It's mind-boggling. It is crazy. Yeah, mutually assured destruction is a good thing because, and Russia was the first to point that shit out when Obama and them, Bush Senior, I'm sorry, Bush Jr. and Obama started to put these what do you call those, shields? They're kind of like missile shields in different areas that were really close to Russian borders. Russia came out straight up and said, look, by you guys doing this shit, you understand you're fucking with the whole mutually assured destruction. Even if you give yourself a 1% chance to live, that destabilizes shit. And when I heard Putin say that, I go, I get that. And I understand that. If I have a big giant fucking pit bull, and you have a big giant pit bull, and you have a big giant pit bull, all the dogs are kind of looking at each other, and they might bark and make a lot of noise, but none of them really fucking with each other, right? Well, now, shit, I got 2 pit bulls, and you guys still only have 1 and 1. Okay, it's a little bit like, okay, what happens if 2 of mine jump 1 of yours, and the other one's kind of scared, doesn't do nothing, and then suddenly they turn and take his ass out too. Now neither one of you guys got pit bulls, right? So now it's totally it's destabilized, right? So I'm like, I get that. And even people might say, Rob, you're agreeing with fucking Putin? Yeah, I am, because I'm a free thinking individual, and I look at the situation, I call it the way I fucking see it. If there's mutually assured destruction, no sane person is going to push the button, because that would be the end. And there have been many, many, many instances in the past where we have been literally like this, and it's like, okay. And it's and by sheer dog shit luck, nobody panicked and pushed the button. right? There's been like 2 or 3 times in history that they have publicly disclosed they almost pushed the fucking button. Okay? So anyway, in summary, that is why I look at a lot of the stuff that's going on and I go, it's theater. Like the whole shit with Iran. Ooh, everybody. First fucking week, 3 weeks ago, everybody. Oh, ooh, it's World War III. Oh, they're going to do the draft. Ooh, they're going to do this. Oh, there's going to be hell to pay. Well, 1 week later, the whole narrative kind of flip-flopped and kind of nosedived on Iran because of that shooting of the Ukraine plane. And oh, now they want the Ayatollah's fucking head, the people on the ground. I'm like, okay, now they got their own internal shit to deal with. Back the fuck up off it. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit, right? But the press still trying to villainize Trump. Oh, Trump said this to generals and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. If a journal is too much of a fucking pussy to handle somebody saying you're a fucking, a fucking dickless coward, that's words. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It's like, all right, Mr. President, I'll still be here, bitch, after you're gone. So, yeah, talk your shit now, bitch, and step. Oh. See, I will tell you, one of the reasons our world is still intact is because a Russian submarine captain refused to launch his nuclear missile after receiving launch orders. Exactly. Rational, smart people not willing to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to follow an order like a fucking robot. Right? And you know what? Russian, I salute you. You know what I mean? There are some people, because I just said that shit, because I said what a rational thinking human being said about another rational human being, they're going to say, oh, I'm a commie fucking pinky sympathizer and that I'm with fucking Russia. Which, no, I just agreed with that particular situation because guess what? I didn't fucking die. My family and everybody's still here because of the fucking Russian guy not following a fucking order. Out fucking standing. But in this bullshit environment we find ourselves in now, people can take that shit, use that little sound bit, tweak it up a little bit, and suddenly I'll have people hating me. People will be like, oh, kill that motherfucking commie, sympathizing bastard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fuck you. You know what I mean? Good, I'm glad I got guns. Come take 'em, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where the current state of affairs is extremely disheartening. And it makes me very sad because, I don't necessarily like Trump. I like the slogan, Make America Great Again, but I think Make America Great Again is a very loaded thing. And when people say, well, was America ever great? I think it was great from the sense of we had a common melting pot where other cultures could come and share in the enrichment of what it is to be an American. And I love that thought of other cultures coming and sharing and then assimilating into the American experience and being together as human beings, under the banner of American, right? And being proud of building America from nothing, right? Building a society up. And then to me, I think that is a beautiful thing. And also having pride where you could say the damn Pledge of Allegiance and not have people rip it apart or not even understand it, right? There's a very important line in the Pledge of Allegiance, right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, remember that shit, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, not invisible, but indivisible, right? And those two pieces are things that people really should fixate on, is republic and indivisible, right? Indivisible means not dividable. You cannot divide us, but it's too late. We're already divided. You could throw the word Trump up and the room is going to split in half like it's part of the fucking Red Sea, right? You could get to the last part of, pledge to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic of the nation, God, one nation under God. So you can have some people in that line of one nation under God. People fucking lose their minds, right? Again, we're already divided. So if I were to say what would make America great again is to be united be a moral society, be an honorable society, and actually give a flying fuck about your fellow man. So anyway, let's see. I've heard about the dangers of drones controlled by autonomous AI. Yeah, again though, we have technology, we have things. If a bunch of drones came and they weren't armed, they were just swarming like little pests or whatever, good shotgun blast takes care of that shit. I'm not, there are so many things. I was explaining this shit to my kids the other day. When it comes to man, my son asked a question to me a little while back. I was sick. I was having the side effects of the medication I was on. And my son, here I am tired as hell, and he asked me this question: Dad, what would win? A grizzly bear or a gorilla? I said, a fucking grizzly bear. No hesitation. I knew it was a fucking grizzly bear. And my son said, yeah, almost all my friends say a gorilla. I said, no, son. A gorilla has no claws, first and foremost. If you look at bone density, a gorilla does not have the bone density of a grizzly bear. A grizzly bear has more weapons available to it and a hide that is extremely difficult, even with a gorilla that was armed with machetes. I said, no, a grizzly bear would fuck a gorilla up in pretty short. Because if the gorilla tries to climb a tree, make no mistake, a bear can get up a fucking tree. So, that was kind of what happened with the Ukraine plane in Iran. Autonomous AI took it out. Could be. There's a lot of systems that use triggers and subroutines to kind of automate things to speed it up. If Iran actually has AI controlling their weaponry and they didn't ground the planes, that's their fucking bad. That's their fucking bad. They're fucking stupid. Stupid as fuck. But, it is what it is. The problem with any kind of a drone or anything else is a lot of times they're remote controlled. So if you get compromised and somebody else figures out how to access the core systems, they can actually take your fucking army of drones and use it against you. That'd be very, very dumb to do. Very dumb. Traditional weapons armed by pilots and bombers and stuff like that, it's probably best route to go. Rely on human beings making rational decisions versus some form of artificial intelligence that's going to fuck up or become sentient and say human beings are worthless piece of shits and take us out. Wait a minute, isn't that a movie? That's a fucking movie, isn't that? Oh yeah, fucking Terminator. So anyway, we live in a very funky hypocritic society. You have people that want free shit and not understand what's required to pay for them, and then you got other people that aren't realistic to the plight that a lot of our citizens have. And I think if people would just get past the bullshit and really start to give a fuck about each other instead of just themselves, then America would be great. But until then, we're just a cesspool of fucking self-important, vain idiots snapping pictures of our food, what we're wearing, what we're doing, acting like everything is great when it's not. And, fueling the narcissism and understanding that social media is just as bad as drugs, just as bad a drug as cocaine. Why do you think we have our president tweeting at 2 or 3 o'clock in the fucking morning constantly? It's a drug. He gets a dopamine hit when everybody starts crying about his tweets and everything else. And regardless if he's following the 48 laws of power or not, make no mistake, he is addicted, and he's probably very narcissistic. He is addicted to the the attention and stuff that he gets. I think he does give a shit about America to a certain extent, but I also think that, you know, at the end of the day, I think he does love himself a whole lot, a whole lot. And I don't think it's his fault. I think he's just an addict, you know, addicted to the tweets. And, you know, and that's actually a clinical thing. They actually now have that. And I wish I'd have known this years and years and years ago, because I wouldn't let my kids get online, but it's too fucking late. They're all addicts too. They're addicted to their own little things in their own little worlds they're hooked into. So anyway. Oh yeah, I remember war games. I remember that shit. You know, shall we play a fucking game? Let's see. So did all the American presidents. Yeah, I don't know. You go back. No, I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, you could say narcissism, ego, pride, vanity. But I mean that, you know, come on. You can't really go and be a politician without thinking that's the shit you're gonna do. You know, I think some people start off with the best of intents, like Hitler. You know, when you look at the story of Hitler, it's kind of crazy. Like, dude really was trying legitimately to make things better before, and he got ridiculed. They're like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, they straight fucking told his ass, beat it, bitch. And then, you know, dark fingers got involved with them and said, hey man, we can make you something. We can make you something. Just roll with us when we do the shit we're gonna do. As we see over and over and over, there's always a shadowy government behind the scenes pulling the strings. And I love how people love to say, Hitler, Hitler, Hitler. There's a cool thing that I saw years ago that said, okay, you got one guy's an alcoholic, one guy's a fucking womanizer, one guy is this, one guy is like all this horrible shit, right? And then one is like a vegan painter. who pets kittens or some shit, right? And then everybody, of course, is, oh, that's got to be this guy. Okay, fuck that. No, we go for this guy. And then when they all voted for unanimously on these little things was fucking Hitler. I was dying when I saw that. I was like, you know, it is what it is, right? But you know, you hear people throwing, oh, he's a Hitler. He's Hitler. It's like, whatever, man. You guys are so fucking stupid with that shit. Anyway. Yeah, hell, Darth Vader had good intentions too, you know, and they played that also in the newest Star Wars, right? In the newest Star Wars with Kylo Ren, aka Ben, you know, they play that kind of a scenario too, the best of intentions, and even though I'm going the dark path, it's the best of intentions, and it's like, yeah, be careful with that shit, because you can use that shit as justification to do anything. I could say, well, I'm slaughtering all these motherfuckers here because I believe they were going to be the next generation of the Hitlers and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. You know, and people might buy that. But at the end of the day, I justified something I shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't have killed I shouldn't kill a bunch of fucking people. That's not right. That's wrong, right? Regardless of the situation. Short of defending yourself and your family. If you're defending yourself or your family and you're put to the limit and you actually have to take a life for self-preservation, that's self-preservation. That's the same as if a fucking mountain lion's trying to attack you, you got a knife and you're fighting for your life and you've managed to stab it in his fucking eye and you kill him. You didn't set out to kill the fucking mountain lion, you just defended yourself, right? But there's some people that will use preemptive strikes and other shit as a form of justification to kill, you know. And you know, and I love this whole thing, like, oh, Trump, you know, Trump's so fucking evil. Look, he sanctioned an assassination of a general. Okay, well, Obama sanctioned the assassination of Gaddafi. But you guys don't cry about that, but you cry about Trump? Come on now, if we're going to be holier than thou, you have to be consistent with your shit. But people would justify things based off of their likes and dislikes. Well, I liked Obama and I don't like Trump. Okay, well, you're a fucking hypocrite. Anyway, it's fucking, oh, fuck. Yeah, vegetarian, that's what I meant, not vegan. I didn't think they had that vegan shit, you know. But it's just, you know, it is what it is, right? But yeah, until everybody experiences tremendous loss and adversity, they will not appreciate the shit that they have. you know, and it's like all these people crying for gun confiscation. I can see a scenario where all the guns are taken, the government comes in, starts re-educating motherfucker, throwing people in camp, and those same motherfuckers that were like, no on guns, gun kill people, they were like, God damn, I wish I had a gun. All right, that's it. That's the show. I hope you guys have a fucking wonderful night. Keep your head on a swivel. You know, just be aware of your surroundings and come on, man, for the love of fucking God, just be nice to each other. You know what I mean? Just instead of judging other people, how about you just say, fuck, this dude's having a bad day. I wish there was a way I could make it better. Maybe if I just be nice to him. Don't give him anything. Don't say anything. You know, don't go out of your way. Just be polite, be nice, be patient. It might be enough. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Vixen, heal up, goddammit. Get better. I want you nice and solid. You know what I'm saying? And I will see you guys tomorrow on the Real Time Story Time, where we get to tell some fun stories when you guys give me some really crazy words and shit. All right? Okay, guys. That's it for now. If you like it, please subscribe. Tell your friends far and wide. Until next time, motherfuckers, please be good to yourself, good to each other. Go out, live life to the fullest. Ride the bus so the wheels fall off. Get some scars. Find some love. All that jazz. And I'll see you motherfuckers next time. All right.